You wish to compare the prices of books at Amazon.com and the local bookstore, so you select a random sample of 8 books and check the price of the book at each retailer. The data is given below, and we want a 95% confidence interval for the population mean difference in book prices. In this situation, because you're looking at 8 books at both places, the data is paired up. It is not independent data. The 61 and 71 in our first column are the prices for the same book, just at the 2 different places, so those are not going to be independent of one another. When your data is paired, you start by finding your difference data, which we call D, and I'll do this by taking the Amazon price minus the local bookstore price. So 61 minus 71 is negative 10, 89 minus 97 is negative 8, 22 minus 25 is negative 3, 22 minus 28 is negative 6, 30 minus 42 is negative 12, 93 minus 90 is 3, 96 minus 103 is negative 7, and then lastly 46 minus 47 is negative 1. If you add up the difference data, you get negative 44. If you square all these D's and then you add them up, you get 412. So our mean of the D's is negative 44 over our sample size, which is 8, because we look at how many pairs we have. And so you'll get negative 5.5. The standard deviation for the D's, which we write as S sub D, will be 412 minus our negative 44 squared divided by 8, all divided by 7, which should give you 4.928. So our interval is going to look like our D bar plus or minus a T. And our T we can get from the table by using degrees of freedom of n minus 1, which will be 7, and we want a 95% interval. So looking in the T table in row 7 for our 95%, you're going to find that the T you get is 2.365. So we get plus or minus 2.365 times our standard deviation, which is 4.928, divided by the square root of n, which we said was 8. And so the resulting confidence interval has a lower bound of negative 9.621 and an upper bound of negative 1.379. So we're 95% confident that if we were going to look at all books sold by Amazon in the local bookstore, that the difference in the prices would have a mean that would lie in this interval. Looking at this interval, we see that it's all negative values. What this is telling us then is that if you have the mean of the differences be negative, that we actually see that Amazon is selling the books at a cheaper rate than the local bookstore would be. And then lastly, because our sample size was only 8 here, in order for this confidence interval to be valid, what we need to know is that the difference data would come from a normal distribution.